Alright, welcome back to Factorio. This is GWK, and last episode we left off with the transport belts. We've fully automated the transport belts, and the reason we did that is because we're going to need a lot of them. Most of our factory is going to be transport belts. So today, though, I wanted to go ahead and start automating red science packs. Now, red science packs are important because we're going to need to do all this research. And the first, base technologies all require a little bit of red science packs. Now, later ones still require the red science packs, but they require the green science packs as well, and we'll eventually automate that as well as blue ones. So, the first thing we need to do, though, is get the red science so we can start unlocking the technologies required to not only get green science packs, but also automate them. So, it's a recurring process, basically. Anyways, so this is how our factory's coming along. Remember, we have the iron mining and the copper, iron mining is down here, and the copper mining is here. The iron smelting and the copper smelting. But before we get started with the red science packs, I just want to come down here and add more iron miners, because, as you can see, only 6 of our smelters are actually getting used out of the 20 that are here. So we're going to put down, I think, about 4 or 6 more. I like to do them in pairs of 2. That way you can fill up both sides of the belt. I'm just going to grab some iron plates here and some copper. We're going to build, let's just go with 4 for now. So there's the 4 being built. I'm just going to run down here. Check on these, yeah. Okay. So now we've got, we haven't got all of them, but we're getting all these miners, and so we're going to have to move this power pole out of the way too. We'll just go ahead and place these 2 down first and get some belts working for them. And we're probably going to have to move the power pole to down here. I think that'll still keep them connected. Yep, awesome. There we go. Perfect. So now we've tripled our mining production, which hopefully means all these furnaces will actually get used. Now it's getting nighttime. I hope you guys can still see. Last episode, when I went over and reviewed it, it looked okay. So hopefully it stays that way. I didn't check it once it was uploaded to YouTube, though. So maybe once it's uploaded to YouTube, it gets a little too dark. But, yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and start doing the red science packs. Now, for those, we're going to need copper plates and iron gear wheels, which is really easy. Now, I believe you can do 1 iron gear wheel factory, like one of these, to every 10 of these, which is really awesome, and it makes our job a heck of a lot easier. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to pick up this chest real quick. We're going to pick up the arm first, the inserter, and the chest, and we're just going to move these out of the way. We're just going to go ahead and use this this iron gear wheel factory, because the amount of iron gear wheels it can make is much higher than what this one guy will ever use. And instead of building 10 science packs, we'll just go ahead and build 8, I think, for now. And we'll see how that goes. If we still have a nice backup of iron gear wheels, we'll go ahead and add the other 2. But for right now, we're just going to go with 8. So we're going to need 8 of these guys. That's 7, so there we go, perfect. Oh, that's another hotkey I forgot to mention last time. If you want to say, okay, you see how I can make 3 here? If you hold down shift and left click, it'll make the maximum amount. So it'll make 3 electronic circuits, or whatever it is. That's why I just picked up enough iron to bring that number up to 8. That way I could just shift click and get the perfect amount that I needed. Another thing we're going to need to do, though, is we're going to have to upgrade these inserters to fast inserters, because if you look, it takes longer for the arm to insert the iron plates than it does for it to actually make the gear wheels. So we just need to speed that up. We're just going to grab these 2, and we're going to pick up some more iron to make the fast inserters. Go ahead, see, shift click. And while we're waiting on all that, we're just going to stand here, because there's not much else for us to do. How are you guys doing? I'm doing great today. I had a good day. All the dogs are put away. The cats are sleeping, so hopefully no animal nonsense this episode. It turned out pretty good last episode, so yeah. And I'm also trying to figure out the audio stuff still. Trying to do some little editing to it so it's a little bit clearer, a little less ear-shattering. So I hope that's working out well. Okay, so now we have all our stuff built, so we're just going to go ahead and lay these guys down. If you hold down the left mouse button while running in a direction, it'll just build them spaced out perfectly. With power poles, it's awesome. Like, if you do this, it'll space them out as far as it can, so like that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and put our power poles for this production every other assembling machine like this, because they stretch far enough to power the inserters on each side. As you can see, like, okay, I'll show you what I mean. So, like, we can have one, even though we don't have a power pole in the middle like we do here, we're going to be putting our inserters, like, here, and so they'll be powered by this pole, and then here on this pole. And then on the poles where, or the factories where, the assemblers, rather, where there is a pole, it, you know, still powers both sides. So, it's perfect for our purposes. So, this is going to be supplying it with the copper gear wheels that it needs. Or the iron gear wheels. I don't know why I want to keep calling them copper ones. They're not copper. And we're also going to need to start putting down these fast inserters to make sure it's getting the output out. As you can see, now it's inputting more iron plates than it can use per construction time. So that means we've maxed out on this assembling machine how fast we can make iron gear wheels. Now the second thing Red Science Pack needs is copper. So we're just going to go ahead and bring that down to here. And I think, let me see, I'm going to have the line come down this way, like that. So we're going to have a splitter right here. So we need more iron for splitters. As you can see, I told you last episode, I think it was, we're going to need a crap ton of iron. Here's that coming into play. I'm still using like the same amount of copper I picked up earlier. But man, every few seconds I'm having to get new iron. I'm going to get another splitter. So actually, we're going to make two more because I forgot to do it here. But we're going to make two more splitters. The reasoning being is because, remember how I told you this splits in half every time? That's why I like to have two lines. One line that gets split off, and then another line that just keeps going down and refills the lines as needed. So if I put this here and run the transport belt up, right, the 50% that gets pulled off of here is being resupplied by this line. Now, it's not perfect. It splits both lines into, like, I think it would be 75% each, but it makes sure that the copper production, or the copper plates that are reaching the end of the line, stay up. And then eventually I'll have down the line, like, extra, you know, smelters that supply just halfway up the line and stuff like that. You'll see what I mean when we get there. And that's why I needed two, because I forgot to do it here, because I always forget to do things. Another thing I noticed last episode that I missed... Oop. Sorry about that. My phone just buzzed at me. That was one of my friends. Anyways, something I messed up. I put an extra power pole here. It was not needed, so I'm just going to take that out. As you can see, those iron mines have bumped up how much is being, how much of these are being used. It could still use some more, but we'll upgrade it as needed. And as you can see here, the gear wheels have already caught up to their max. And so, we're just going to bring this copper down, and then we're going to have our output come along right next to the copper. We're going to use an underground belt here. What we're going to do is we're going to make a little science station. We'll do that here in a second, once I'm done with this. So this, we have 8 assemblers, so we're going to need 16 short-handed inserters, regular inserters, I should say, and then 8 long to output onto this belt. So we're going to need to pick up more iron, as always, so 16, and 8, perfect. Oop, add 1 and 8, nice. Only need to really make 7, but whatever. You can never have enough inserters. Alright, so, just go ahead and place this guy down. And we forgot to power the other side. Too busy rambling on about something I'm willing to bet. There we go. Okay. So, copper's down there, gear wheels are down there, our inserters are being made. Let's just go ahead and set these. Now, if you want to set a whole bunch of these, instead of going through the menu, what you can do is you can hold down Shift and right-click it. It will make a little green border around it, and then if you continue to hold Shift and left-click anywhere, it will just copy that same blueprint to all of them, which is a really handy tool, especially when you're doing long production lines like this, where you have multiple factories doing the same thing. So we'll go ahead and place down our output lines, like that. And we'll get our input inserters. Oh, I keep forgetting. The long-handed inserters actually use use regular inserters in their recipe. So we're going to have to make 8 more of those, because it just went ahead and pulled those out of my inventory. Sometimes I really wish it wouldn't do that, but, you know, it's whatever. So we'll go ahead and place these down, like that. Both of them pointing inwards. That's what the little arrow there means. I don't know if I explained that. The bar shows where they're pulling from, and the arrow shows where they're going to pull to. Ooh, excuse me, just burped. Misplaced that one. As you can see, the bar pulls from the science machine into the belt. But yeah, here we go. Just keep placing these down. And like that. And I think we got them all set up right. Yeah, looks good. And as you can see, it doesn't use these iron gear wheels up all that fast, all too fast. But, you know. So now that we've actually got our red science being made, next thing to jump on is we need to make our science lab, like our area where all the research is done. Now, I normally like to have about 10 labs, so we're going to go ahead and pick up this one. And so that means we're going to need to make 9 more. So we're going to just go ahead and pick this guy up. And 9 more. See, it's going to take 36 iron plates total raw. So I'm just going to go ahead and come across here. And we're just going to kind of stand here and run across, picking up all the iron as it comes off. Actually, I think copper is our limiting factor. Yeah. Ow. Okay. Pick up some copper. Yeah, there we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Picked up a little too much, but whatever. Now, we want to make sure that we have space later for other science packs to come through. So what we're just going to do here is we're going to make sure that we have 2 belts. Because instead of using red science on both sides of the belt, what we're going to do is eventually we're going to have green science on one side, red science on the other, and then this side is going to have blue and the purple science. Because there is purple science, but as you can see here, but their production is a lot easier. It doesn't require a bunch of factories. It just requires, like, turning this alien goop that you get for killing the bad guys into purple science. Or Science Pack 4s, I think the game officially calls them. Let me see. Yeah, Science Packs. So the purple ones are Science Packs 4s. So now that we've made sure there's space for 2 belts to come down, we're just going to put these science labs one off like that. We're also going to need more power poles, so we're going to need to chop more of that dead wood. And there's actually quite a bit here. It's actually really nice. I don't think these ones are dead. They're just kind of like desert trees. I'm going to go ahead and chop those, though. So we got 20, I think will be plenty. It's 22 power poles. Now we're just going to have to wait for all that stuff to build. In the meantime, I think we can go ahead and figure out how long this is going to need to be with our belts. Because the way I do it is that each one is spaced out with one in between. So there's going to be like a space here. I think. Is that how I normally do it? Let me see. If I had like at least one power pole, I can probably steal from right here for right now. Just measure things out. Actually, no. I think I do it like this, where I have power pole each side like that. So we just go ahead and butt them up next to each other like this. 5? Yeah, that's how I do it. Now that I'm doing it, I remember. So we'll just go ahead and bring these belts down to the furthest point here, and then here. And as you can see, that red science backs up pretty quickly if you're not researching anything. We'll go ahead and get these other ones down. We're going to need 10 of each type of those inserters, the long-handed and the short ones. So we're going to go ahead and set those up to be crafted. Pick up the resources we need. Made sure to do them in the right order that time. That way the short-handed ones don't get used up. We're also going to... Let's see. We're also going to come down here to where our stone was being mined. And we're just going to dump some extra stuff into this chest. Stuff that we're not using anymore, like these burner mining drills. We're not using them. Should probably figure out a way to unload those onto the belt, but for now we'll just stick them in there. And we'll go ahead and grab a couple stacks of this stone. That way, you know, if we need any, we have it on hand. Yep, these guys are still working at peak performance. Still no biter attacks, which is great. I hate those little bastards. They ruin my day. Make the game kind of... For me, they kind of make the game not as fun as it could be, which is why I tend to turn them on low. But I still think it's important part of the game to have them, especially if you want to do purple science. Ugh, readjusting myself, sorry. Alright, now all our science labs are made. I'm going to finish placing those down. And the power poles, we need to replace the one over here because these guys are not getting powered anymore. There it is. I'll continue production. And here's our crap ton of power poles. Hopefully this is all I'll ever need. Yeah. See, we're going to follow the same system that we did with up there. Just every other lab like that. So we only use, I think, 6 power poles. Yep. Now, if I wanted more labs later, I could add them. But for right now, 10 is plenty. So we're just going to go ahead and place these guys down on the bottom side. I try to keep my inserters organized. So like all the long-handed ones will stay on the bottom, all the short-handed ones will stay on the top. Like I did it opposite here, but as long as everything in that particular setup follows the same pattern, it just makes things easier. So like if I mess something up or I put a bunch of inserters the wrong way around, I can easily go through and fix it. Because I'll know exactly where everything is. Okay. Top, 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 and top. There we go. Perfect. Now we just need to hook this up. And I think to do that, we'll just go ahead and put a power pole here. Because we're going to run underground belts here. Like so. And boom, 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 boom. There we go. Perfect. So there it is. We got both our red science being produced. We're already starting to research electronics. And we've got our science lab set up. So in the future, we can bring some green science down, and we can do all our research here, which is awesome. Now all our smelters are working. I think I'm going to add a few more iron mines. Let's see. We need copper for that first. So I'm just going to grab this copper. And I think we're going to add another set of 6. Wait for it. There it is. 6. Oop, there, see? Having it automated makes things research so much faster. So we're going to go ahead and get automation 2 because we're going to need the assembling machine 2, to do green science. Because green science requires these basic assemblers here. Where is it? Yeah, here. They can only take in 2 ingredients to make an item. And like I showed you last episode, green science requires inserters, which require 3 input ingredients to make. Assembler machines too both work faster and allow you to use 3 ingredients in their production. Let me just take a quick drink. Alright, so just waiting on these guys to build. Almost there. There we go. Go ahead and line them up kind of like this. This guy's not going to get a lot of resource, but I just like to keep things even. And he can still reach all these ones, as you can see by the field around him. That little green, bluish kind of field. I don't know what color it is. See? Oop, there goes my phone again. But see how much faster research is now that we have it automated? You can just pick something and it'll happen on its own. We're gonna go ahead and get optics because these lamps are important, especially for Let's Plays. Normally, when you're just playing single player, you don't have to worry about them too much unless you have your brightness set really low. But hopefully, without them, you can still see just fine. Man, keep doing this research so fast. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get turrets next. As you can see, that little bar fills up so fast. But these are all just the basic research. Is like if we come down here, you can see this one takes like 200 of each type of pack, whereas this one only takes like 10. Go ahead and get walls. Oop, jet's parking. But I put them in the other room, so hopefully it's not as terrible. What are we going to research next? Steel processing. Definitely going to need this one. There we go. The reason we put a splitter here is that way, this side fills up the belt as best it can and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and throw it on this side too, because as you can see, anything that gets mined and put on this side, right? If this side is being filled, it can't get onto it because it stays on the same side of the lane. It just goes to a different belt, if that makes sense. So by doing this, any that can't automatically be split onto the left side will get put onto the right side, thus filling up the belt as much as possible. So that's about everything I wanted to do today for this episode. So I think I'm just going to leave it there. Next time, I think we're going to start doing green science packs. That's a much longer, complicated build that will probably take all episode. And, before I go, let me just power these up real quick on this side. Forgot to do that. Run down here. Throw a power pole there, one there, one there, and one there. There we go. Now all those miners are working. Perfect. But other than that, I think that's the episode. Thanks for watching. This has been Gaming with Kyle. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you around.